Okay, excuse the audio quality change, but here we go. So to very quickly cover the bottom two shelves, over here where the CDs stay, the garbage truck there in the corner is from a very famous series of collectibles called the Trash Pack. They were huge when I was growing up in Brazil, but I'm pretty sure they also were big in the US. They got replaced by, this was the same brand, they got replaced by something called the Grocery Gang. I do own a lot of that as well, but it sits on its own area in the garage. Moving the camera up, we have here my little movie shelf. So obviously the elephant in the room, I have the DeLorean and the Ecto-1. Both of these are Playmobil models, surprisingly. And for what's really like basic toys, these are really, really nice. I can't shut off the DeLorean because the button's on the bottom, but for the car, yeah, it has lights. It has sounds as well, but I'm not gonna play it. It's just the sound effect of the siren it has. You'll notice my movies are split into two areas. It's indicated by the little Mario mushroom, and that is to the left is all my Thomas the Tank Engine DVDs, and to the right is everything else. They're both organized alphabetically, but the titles will just stay separate because I just like them more. They can stay in their own area. And a few of these I imagine you recognize from the Goodwill video. You can clearly see the Jamie Dean one there behind the DeLorean, for example, or the driving zone there. I think out of all of my little shelf scenes that I have set up here between all 7 divisions, this one I think is my second favorite. So obviously here on the left we have all the vinyls, and you saw 90% of these in the Goodwill video. Some of these I didn't bring up, but that's just because I couldn't make a funny joke out of them. Like, ironically, one of the discs I have here is a compilation of Spike Jones records, and if you don't know who Spike Jones is, he's basically the Weird Al of the 1940s. He'll make like, jokey songs, there'd be gun noises and crap. You get it. Another one I didn't mention, which you can very clearly see, is I own the entire Minecraft soundtrack on vinyl. This was a extremely kind birthday gift from my friend Alex. A lot of stuff in here you're gonna see coming up there near the top shelf was given to me by my friend Alex, so shout out to him. But let's get into the elephant of the room, and that is, I'm gonna move the camera real quick, and that is the Speed Racer figure and car. So, spoiler alert, this is going to be the next video I'm making. It's going to be entirely about all of Speed Racer. And this is, I think, from 1993, somewhere around there. It's a model of the Mach 5, that's the name of the car, and Speed Racer himself from the toy brand Resaurus. They're more famously known for their Crash Bandicoot figure line that came out around the same time, if not a little bit later. But before that, they had an entire line of Speed Racer toys. So I don't have it on him, but there's the trunk of the car which opens, and in there I have all of Speed's accessories. And he comes with a little bag, a couple of trophies, 2 for some reason, his helmet which is removable, and just a gun, a straight up Glock for some reason. Well, okay, there's very much a reason, but you're gonna get to find that out when the video comes out in God knows how long. Turning the camera now, we have the Rude Jack Art Marty and Lou plushies, as well as the other 2 Speed Racer figures that I have, which are of Spurtle and Chim Chim. I'm gonna probably put up proper pictures of this in post, but they're holding up 2 little vinyls, which are both jokes from the videos they're from. But because of the way they're stitched, they kind of always like hold it facing down, so it just looks a little bit weird. I do still love their expressions though, so they just sit right there on the shelf. Moving on to the 4th floor of the shelf, you can very much see right there in the middle the tax calculator from the Goodwill video. It still has 8008135 written on it, of course. So it's come up a couple times in my videos, especially now in the Goodwill one, but I am a huge Beatles fan. Well, it's not Lego, it's from Mega, so a Mega set of the Beatles performing on the Ed Sullivan Show. I'll once again pull up video of it, but it comes with a little USB cable that's sitting off there in the corner. When you plug that into some kind of power input, all of those spotlights you see here on the stage, so like here, all of these actually light up. You have to actually like aim the spotlights so they can actually hit the figures. So on the second half of the shelf, obviously you can see right there the little tax calculator. But these fucking things. I am not gonna remember the names of these, so I'm gonna probably pull up the actual name of it, but it's like Dr. Bones' Go-Go's something. It's a really long name. But these are like collectibles from the early 2000s, and the Brazilian comic Turma da Mônica made a Brazil exclusive collab with that little line of figures. And I own 3 of them. I know I used to own more, but they're all like gone. I'm not gonna show them close up because where they were kept, which was in this little box in the garage, they kind of got melted into the box. And there was also a cockroach that I knew I trapped in there. Before I moved to the US, there was a cockroach in that box and I just locked it, never opened it again. I suffocated the cockroach in there. By the time I opened it to take these out and put them up on this shelf, there was just kind of like a dust throughout the box. I was just like cockroach remains cooked to perfection. Sitting in front of her, because it was just the best part it had, was the EBN CD. I mentioned this in the... Which video was it? In the Who's Nosette video, that I really like the band EBN, and then I'm planning to make a really long video on it. That's still, you know, technically under production. I don't have a script yet because I still know how to organize what is probably likely 2 hours, if not more, of that content. If anyone wants to offer help with that, I'd be gladly accepting. But that's an actual 1997, or is it 98? I think it's 98 CD, and I'm gonna open it real quick here off screen because, and I'm gonna bring it back over on the screen. Aside from it coming with the CD itself, it also came with a little floppy disk that would run on Windows 95 and Mac computers. This one, because it's so old and it wasn't used, the data on the floppy disk is no more. One day that'll be out there to the mass. Let me just put that back. Obviously, there's 2 Funko Pops. There's the only 2 that I own, and that's because no other easily accessible figure line exists of these 2, which is obviously John Lennon and Scout TF2. It's like having, you know, Jesus and God next to each other. But yeah, like the Scout figure, there's the NECA figure, which is like over $100 for one. I'm not gonna spend all that. And because John Lennon's, you know, just a real musical figure, you get these like uber detailed figures of him, or it's his cartoon version on Yellow Submarine. There's no in between. This is the only in between there is. I would have preferred the version, you know, with the cap, which, speaking of, here's a little bit of extra Nosette lore. Here's the actual cap, which I wear, which is what based off the design of my little possum character. But yeah, there's a version of him wearing a very similar cap, and I wanted that one, but I found this at, I think, a Barnes & Noble for like $12, and I was like, okay, I'll fucking take it. On top of that is a little statuette of the therapy character from the... Oh god, I forgot the name of the Ina show, but it's like when she's in a theater. I'll put it up on screen. I had some extra funds because I finished a commission, and they paid me in a Fangamer gift card. I had that arranged, don't worry. And I decided, fuck it, I'll buy that as well. And it's a nice, you know, little standee. The character is of the girl and the boy, they're transparent. I find that very cool. And there we go. From this point onwards, I'm gonna have to be standing, which sucks, but, you know, whatever. So, as you can see, this is the game shelf, quote-unquote. You might notice that the huge stack of discless Wii games now actually have boxes for them, including labels. You can see there's still quite a few of them over here, but let me explain. When I made that Wii video, even before I made that Wii video, this was years ago, I found a lot of, I want to say like 20, just blank white DVD cases. Not all of them were from Wii games, mind you, but they were all white. And I had bought them with the express purpose of putting these disc-only games into these boxes, but as you can see, they weren't enough. I only completed this after the Wii video got made, so... And this was between me making the Goodwill video and making the Wii video. So it is lore accurate that I did community service and I labeled all of the missing Wii games. But also, if I just pull out here, right now, let's do a Wii Ski. If I pull out Wii Ski, you'll actually see it has no front or rear label. It's only the spines. And that's because I didn't want to waste printer ink, you know. Like, we had barely enough ink to do all of the extra labels you see here. But you'll also notice a few games that had boxes I ended up basically throwing out. So like, what was it? Top Spin, I believe, the soccer one, just the ones I just did not care about. I put them into the little paper label things, and I use their boxes for games that I actually cared about. Not to imply that I like carnival games. That one's just funny to have. But let's talk about the rest of the things I have here. So there's what looks like a Famicom controller. This is a generic USB controller, which came with a very special emulation machine, which I'll talk about someday, but that's a story for another time. A spare pair of Joy-Cons. My actual Joy-Cons are on my Switch, which is somewhere else. An actual Atari controller. I own an Atari 2600, specifically a Vader model. But that controller was way too worn, so instead, I'm gonna walk over here, dropped something. But instead, I use this. This is an aftermarket controller from, I forgot the brand, but it's the same guys who made that Game Station Go thing. Super reliable controller, feels so much better to play. It has 2 sets of buttons for righties and lefties. You get it. And yeah, there's like a little extra cable there. Here are all my 3DS AR cards in the bottom corner. The CD-ROMs from the Goodwill actually stay here, not in the CD section, because, you know, they're video games. All of the Atari 2600 games, which most of these were given to me by my dad. And here, I want to again show this off thanks to Alex. He gave me a little acrylic Suzy keychain thing. I don't have really any sets of keys anymore. I used to have this on my university dorm keys, but now it just kind of sits there in the corner because I don't have a better spot for it because I don't have anything to hang it from. Go. So this is basically, you know, the top shelf. So this is where I put like all the best stuff. There is an actual top to the shelf, but that's, you know, like you can barely see anything up here at this height. I'm 6'5", so this is like basically at eye level. I know that for people who are shorter than me, the game shelf is actually to their eye level. But this is like my favorite shelf, no doubt. I'm rambling here. Let's get into it. So obviously here, sitting here all next to each other is both of these are both of these are Lego Speed Champion cars. I believe this one is, you know, supposed to be the Fast and Furious Charger car from Don, whatever the fuck his name is. But it does not come with them. However, this bit of the hood here comes off, and you put like a little supercharger, or not supercharger, blower in there. But I've lost that. It's somewhere in my Lego Pals in the garage. There's a, you know, Ferrari race car from, I think also was the 70s. The Crazy Taxi car, you guys know this one from the Wii video. It sits here now. I used to sit back on my desk, but like it would keep trying to roll off, and I don't want to break this thing because it is made of like very cheap, very hollow plastic. Behind the 3 cars, you can see there's something that vaguely looks like a PS1, but it says Caddy on it. That is the Kid Icarus exclusive DVD box set thing released years ago by now. I don't know if it was like 23 or 22, but this is one of the first few limited edition things I ever got the chance to buy, and I was so glad I did. The actual like little PS1 style DVD sits in there because I don't watch it that often. Someone, and I don't know if this was like a good thing or not, but someone leaked all of the videos in that DVD online, which, like, fair enough. It's been out for years at this point, and like gatekeeping that would be kind of stupid. But I do wish it was on his original channel, but I'm getting off track here. So behind it is another vinyl which I never talked about because it's not from Goodwill, and that is the 7-inch 7-inch single of Subways of Your Mind. You might know this song as the most mysterious song on the internet. Here's a little short clip of it for context. Yeah, and they, you know, ever since the band like got found and they've been re-releasing all their stuff, it's genuinely really good. They very recently released a album. It's a compilation of a bunch of their live recordings, and it's really, really great stuff. It's so jarring hearing them like play this really fucking good song, and then you hear like maybe 3 people clapping and realize, oh wait, this is being filmed at an arena. This is being filmed at some bar in Germany. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera now and try and zoom in on that because yes, on the top left area here of my shelf, I've hung up some Yuri. Once again, thanks to Alex. The structural integrity of the shelf would collapse enough for that Yuri. That is a load-bearing piece of Yuri right there. Going from one thing that Alex made to another, not made, but gave me, this giant No Koopa Shell sign. You can actually see it in the old drawing of my set. It would sit on where the old shelf used to be. There was like a little crate, and I'd set it on top of that. You might be wondering what the tape is. That's because this thing's supposed to be nailed. Like you put up a nail and then you just hang it. You can see there's a hole at the top of it. But I just taped it to the back of the wall. I couldn't just like stick it all the way in the back because there's like a very small gap here. It's small enough that this thing can slide through. So I have it hung up with tape, and it just kept falling off multiple times, and the solution was having a piece of tape on that corner, so it just sits like that. Again, like we have load-bearing Yuri, we have that load-bearing tape. Next to it is a Goku figure. This Goku figure, which, this is a bad angle to see it from the front. I'm just gonna move the camera real quick. This Goku figure was from the one time I went to a convention, and that was MegaCon... I want to say 2019. It might have been. It's either right before or right after the pandemic. I want to say 2019 because no one was wearing masks, from what I remember. But you know, it was fun. I would like to go to some other conventions someday. Probably, what's the name of it? Freight Week at Atlanta, because I have a friend from near-ish there who would help me out. So next to the Goku is the Magic 8 Ball. You guys know this from the Goodwill video, but sitting in front of all of them is a bunch of little Thomas metal trains. I call them Erdls, that's the brand they're from. I got these in like in a lot used, but I have like zero connection with these guys. They're just kind of there for display. The ones I have nostalgia for are the little, I'm gonna hold a picture of them, the motorized ones. These guys are more just like, again, decorations. On the center of the shelf, excuse the very creaky tripod, is Spider-Punk doing the punk me like one of your French girls pose, and the Hollywood Tower Hotel bell from the Tower of Terror ride from Disney. Anyway, so the Spider-Punk here, it is from, again, just some Marvel figure series that came out, and I don't know if you noticed this, the guitar he is holding right there is completely fucking different from the one he has in the movie. I believe the decorations are the same, but then like the actual shape is just completely fucking wrong. I don't know what happened here. If I had to guess, it's to do with some kind of concept art they were given or like a last minute change. I'm not sure. The Hollywood Hotel, the Hollywood Tower Hotel bell, which I'm gonna ring real quick for your pleasure. Oops, I fucked it up. The bell came from the Tower of Terror ride. You all know the one. I'm gonna put him back here in the position he was supposed to be in. The bell, there's the other side of it. I bought this because when I went to Hollywood Studios, I don't know when it was, but I had to go there with my high school for a competition, and we like spent one day at Disney. I didn't like the ride. I love the vibes because it's themed after the Twilight Zone, but I can't handle a falling elevator. And so I got the little bell as a proof, a certificate that I went on the ride, and I have to never go on it ever again. Very quickly, here's the top of my shelf. On the left, we have a giant Jigglypuff plush. This was from the same trip as the one where I got the Hollywood Bell from, because we went to Busch Gardens, and they had a little carnival section in the back of the park, and it was really fucking empty for some reason. There was like a single operator there, and he was a super chill guy, where even if we fucked up the obviously rigged things, which we did, he just gave us one of the plushies anyway. I guess it had extra stock. And I think I paid him like $20 for the plush, because it was like a fair enough price if I was actually buying that plushie. He was like letting us like give between like $5 and $10, and he gave us the plushie anyway, and I just had to just give him the 20. Now you can't feel the plush, but I'm gonna poke it right here for you. It's not filled with fluff, it is filled with styrofoam for some reason. So that's why I don't have it like on my bed, because it's not very like cuddly. It keeps it shaped really well, so it's a good shelf decoration. But it's just actual fucking styrofoam. It's really overstuffed, so it's just really bad as a plushie to cuddle. On the right there, you can see the Speed Racer Mach 5 box, which is where that Speed Racer toy came from. The little guy you're seeing sit up on there is from a... I tried doing a little bit of research on this, because I do know what the fuck he actually really was. So G.I. Joe existed, and then Mattel was like, let's make a copy of G.I. Joe, and they made Max Steel. And lastly, that little crystal skull there, it's not crystal, it's porcelain, but whatever. That was given to me by my aunt because they visited here when Halloween was happening. That's also where the skeleton on my set comes from. And they gave it to me as like a little memento, so I just keep it there because I love skeletons. If you know anything about me, I love boners.